is this material's a lot like a fruit roll-up. It's got a plastic side and it's got an emulsion side, and the emulsion side is dull, and that's the side we want to cut on. We need 2 registration pins and an X-Acto knife. So what we're going to do is align the 2 pieces together with the registration pins. The punch makes 1/4 inch holes. The dowels on the registration pins are exactly 1/4 inch. So when you put these 2 things together and take them apart and then put them together again, they'll come together exactly the same way. And what we're going to do is cut our separation. Now, you want to cut right in the middle of the black line. And what we're doing is we're cutting through the emulsion on the Rubylith, which is what this red material is called. So this is a lot like doing a hand-cut stencil, which you've done, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the difference is we're not going to use this to do anything but to make our second photo stamp, or our positive. And I'll show you what the deal is once we get this cut out. And by the way, that's why I buy mostly this style of blade.
Right.
Because it's a much easier blade to cut stencils with than the number 11 blades, which are really sharp and everything, but the point,
right,
you know, you end up tearing. This you can lay over quicker, and you can rotate around curves easier. And I think this is a number 14 blade, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to check the box to make sure. Bound by black, and it isn't going to allow light to transmit. And then, of course, when I get back to here, I have to be careful again and try to stay inside the middle of the line. Now, when you peel, I think it's a good idea always to have a sheet of paper nearby, because this stuff sticks to the light table.
okay,
Just like it sticks to plastic. It's kind of like static cling, whatever. There's not an adhesive or anything, but that doesn't mean it won't want to stick. And the problem is you'll have a lot of cleanup to do later on. If you throw it on a sheet of paper, it's kind of like cleaning your silk screens later on. Pretty easy to throw away paper as opposed to clean the tabletop.
right,
And you need to be patient with this. If you see it lifting up something that you don't want it to lift up, then there. Okay. Down first, light side up, which is the emulsion side. And then, hopefully,
I have
here,
to charge my battery soon.
there's a sheet of plastic.
Okay,
Put the plastic down next. Now what the plastic does is it allows the light to undercut.
okay,
Okay? And then we're going to put our Rubylith on, and it needs to be on dull side up because that's the way we cut it out. And then on the very top, we put our piece of film positive.
okay,
Okay? Now, what the Rubylith does is it keeps the light from exposing anything else. The film is
Right.
safe in red light. It's red Rubylith, so it's just all that's going to go through is red. And this is the area that will get exposed.
okay,
The last thing we're going to do is shut the glass and cover it with this piece of tracing paper. And what the tracing paper does is it diffuses the light.
okay.
Okay? We turn on the vacuum. working well and everything, about 12 seconds, step 2.
Okay.
You press this button, and what you want to do is you want to swivel the light as it's exposing.
Okay.
And what that does, again, it enhances the undercutting.
Only in the area where the color is, or over the whole
Only
thing?
the area that it lets the light go through. So what's happening is, the light is going through the opening like this.
Okay.
We've put a space in there so it undercuts. We've swiveled the light so it undercuts.
So is it, by undercutting, it's making the area a little bigger?
It's making the piece of film underneath the image larger than the area you're trying to feed it into, but it's very controlled, and it's just a little bit. Now the real beauty of all this is, and you asked why you wouldn't just shoot 2 negatives and 2 positives, you don't have to. You take this in and develop it, you'll have your image, and the holes are going to be exactly right. When you take this positive and align it with this, with register pins, it's going to fit exactly in the opening. There's no more registration to do, which is why I like to use this one.
Right.
It's a little tedious doing this if you've got a real complicated image. But like if you're just doing words, for instance, if you were going to do, if you wanted to make this one color and this the other color, it's very easy. You shoot the negative, you cut the opening for this, you punch the film, you expose it, you get another piece of Rubylith, you cut this opening, you expose it, you put it together on the pins, it's ready to go.
Okay.
Okay?